Hi guys, welcome to the channel where we get educated, inspired and we build our faith. Today we are going to have a look at one of the kids program on television called In the Night Garden. Most parents in the UK would know about this. It's normally at the end of the television session and it's meant to actually help children settle and sleep. It is normally on mainstream BBC TV, so it's quite popular. We are introduced to characters like Igor Pigel, who is the main character, and Igor Pigel has a best friend called Upsy-Daisy, and there are characters like Makapaka, Monkey Mongs, Pinky Pongs and Tumbly Boos, and they're all doing their thing. They are playing, they're interacting, they are living life in the night garden, which is bright and sunny and beautiful and with shade, and it's lovely. And then you hear the commentator who announces that yes guys, it's bedtime, go to bed. He tries to persuade the individual characters to go to bed, and they listen to him. So this is what Jesus says, that my sheep knows my voice and they listen to me. Jesus says that if you love me, you would do my commandments. So we also see that at some point you see Upsy-Daisy, who is Igor Pigel's best friend. Upsy-Daisy is one who listens, one of those who listens and goes to bed. You know, this is what is predicted in Matthew 24 verse 40, that two women will be grinding the mill, the hand mill. One will be taken and the other will be left behind. In one of the episodes, you would realize that Upsy-Daisy goes to bed. You would see Upsy-Daisy next to her bed, and instead of her to get into bed, she is fiddling, and she takes off the cover sheets and she'll put it back, and she will give us a twirl, and you know, she will do all sorts. But you could actually tell that Upsy-Daisy is tired as well. You can tell that Upsy-Daisy's eyes are heavy. This is where you see that she's hesitating. So her association with Igor Pigel has affected her. Bad character has corrupted her good character. Bad company has corrupted her good character. And instead of her to just listen and do, she is hesitating. We do not want to be like her, you know. We see friends at church who, even though they've given their life to Christ, they are still halting between the world and Christ. They haven't totally surrendered, and that is what Jesus says that we should be mindful of. Jesus tells us of the signs of his next coming. He says nations will rise against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms. There will be famine, and there would be earthquakes in various places, and there will be perilous times. There will be great destruction upon the face of the land, and many other signs that is stated in Matthew 24. And yet it's as if none of these is observed. You see, life is carrying on as normal, just as verse 38 says. It says, for it would be like the time of Noah, where even before the floods, people were eating and drinking and doing normal things. Some were getting married and being given into marriage up until the day Noah entered the ark. There is a time where we also see in the night garden, we see that Igor Pigel entices others, tries to persuade them to play a little longer. Jesus warns us to watch out for people who would deceive us. It says, make sure nobody deceives you. This means that there's a possibility that we may be deceived out of the salvation. Once saved is not forever saved. We have to continuously work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, in keeping in the grace that has been given unto us freely. This is where we have to read our Bibles and know the mind of God. We have to be praying and seeking help from the Holy Spirit to help us to live the life that is required of us as Christians, so that we may be able to endure to the end. In the verse 10, it warns us that at this time many will turn away from their faith and will betray and hate each other. In the night garden, in the end, we see Eagle Piggle, who is asleep on a boat on the waves of the sea, and she is being led a bit towards into the sea. I don't know if you've tried to fight sleep before, but if you have, you'd realize that you fall asleep eventually. Whatever the case, you fall asleep and you wake up unexpectedly, and you realize that, oh, you've been stolen away. You didn't realize that you were sleeping, and you don't even realize how long you've been asleep for. And that is what Jesus' answer was when he was asked when the Son of Man will return. He says, nobody can tell the time or date, but it would come like a thief. Today, you and I are alive. We've been given another opportunity to take stock and assess whether we are fit for the kingdom. The rich man who encountered Father Abraham had one last request. He said he wanted Father Abraham to send Lazarus to the rest of his living relatives to warn them that indeed heaven and hell is real. Father Abraham said to him that we don't need anybody to come from the dead to convince us that heaven and earth is real. You see, Moses has done his part, and so has the prophets. They have done their part. Today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Make that decision to choose heaven. Make that decision that you're going to live for Christ and be saved. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.